Blake's Buzz Live. Hate less, read comics. It's Blake's Buzz Live.
Buzz, buzz, babies.
Hey, Buzz babies! Happy Wednesday! Some big books out today. I hear everybody's talking about some Batman book. No, Matt Fraction's on Batman here. Everybody's excited about it. I just found out there's like a giant foil thing I probably can't afford. Boy, that makes me want one though. Anyways, I've been hearing good things. People are excited about it. It's good to be excited about comics. And we got a cool book to talk about tonight. I'm pretty stoked. A lot of you have been hearing about it. Those of you who watch the show, because the people we talk about at the beginning of every show are here in the flesh, sort of in the digital flesh, here live on God's green earth. What the fuck? Oh, we just ruined our monetization. It happened. It always does. We're not monetized. It's fine. Anyway, I wrote these good little intros, right? Let's bring some people out. All right, our first guest. These are exciting times in the land of Blake's Buzz. He has worked at publishers like, where's my mouse? All right, he's worked at publishers like Dark Horse and Z2. He's here to talk about an epic new book from Keenspot, which, as I said, a lot of you may know about. He's also worked on the Mother Buzzin' Tick. Let's bring him out, Jeff McClelland. Whoa! The book, by the way, shut up back there. The book is HERO HIRO from Keenspot. Jeff is the writer. We've been advertising it at the head of every show. And I know I'm a big fan of it, and I know some of our listeners are. Jeff, happy to have you. How are you tonight?
I'm doing fine, and thanks for having me. I am here in the flesh, but whose flesh? That's the question.
That is always whose flesh is always the question. I'm very stoked to talk to you because, like I said, I've known the other. It's Michael. I've known the other guests. I always act like my guests are a secret, even though I announced them already. But the other guest in the green room, I've known him for a while, and I mean, I met him a few years ago in Kansas City, and we hit it off, and he was talking about HERO HIRO then, like it was like in the whispers in the air. He showed me some covers and stuff, and I was excited about it. And then now it's here and it's releasing monthly. And how are you feeling about it? How's the, like you said, you're getting ready in the green room. You joked about selling it door to door. Are you got to be pretty confident to start knocking on doors, right? Like,
well, I just haven't asked them if they have a second to talk about our Lord and Savior Jesus Christ, and then I slip in the comic stuff at afterwards, I guess. But this has been something we've been working on for a very long time. And anytime a comic gets made, it's kind of a minor miracle, I guess. And this certainly counts. So just kind of happy to have the book out there and happy to come on and talk about it too.
That is awesome. And I totally agree. It is a minor miracle. There's a lot of moving parts in the comic book world, and some of those parts are slow moving, like your host, who still hasn't brought out the other guests. So I guess let's do that real quick, and then we'll start talking about more comic books. The next guest, who I already said who's back there, is an absolutely amazing illustrator, creator of Kung Fu Legume, co-creator of the Ringo nominated Zor. He's also the artist on HERO HIRO. Let's bring him out, Michael Gecko Mother Buzzing Adams, Ringo nominated colorist, basically an award-winning creator here on Blake's Buzz. My goodness. Woo! How you doing, bud?
What's up, man?
Oh man, I'm excited. I'm so happy for you, dude. I'm like, how you feel? What's it like? What's it like to be recognized for your hard efforts and bask in the glory of comics?
It doesn't feel real. It's really weird, especially when you see like who's there with you. It's like, oh man. So it's all a bit daunting and a little, nerve-wracking, but we're doing our best. We're going to try to show up and compete with these giants of the industry and show them, what indie comics can do and represent the indie world. So that's what our goal is anyway.
How many people are you up against, Mike? Like, what's the number?
So I think in each category, it's like 5. So for best colorist and then best kids book.
So if four others in that category just mysteriously die,
yeah.
I mean, does it go to you automatically?
One can
I think
hope.
so. I think that's how
I'm only asking this as from a
it's a
conceptual
hypothetical.
level.
Yeah, this is just a thought experiment. It's
Right.
not real.
Where do they live?
Yeah, but
this is the kind of comic book co-creator you want, Mike. Is the guy that will slaughter the competition, even though the competition is some celebrated wonderful folk in the industry themselves. But we're not thinking, did who hit Nancy Kerrigan in the leg? What was her name?
That'd be Tanya Harding.
Yeah, like did Tanya Harding care? I don't know. She probably did. I don't know.
She outsourced it though. I mean, I feel like she handled it the right way.
Yeah. It was, anyway, that's don't club people or seals. Anyway, speaking of cute little things, you guys have an adorable, both of you have an adorable book. Mike has this art. His art has a cutesy factor to it, but I love seeing him do superhero stuff too, like lifting up giant trucks and like flying and like soaring through the panels. It's like cool to see some action elements akin to Kung Fu Lagoon, right? It was it was weird and it was quirky and adorable, but like it had great action and some cool mech scenes and shit like that, right? So how did you two, like I said, I know for a fact that you've been working on this for a while. How did you two meet? How did Hero Hiro come to be?
Would you like me to take this, Mike, or would you like to handle it?
Yeah, because I don't even remember how we met. I know it was a long time ago.
Sounds like we're in for a good story.
The short answer, it's not that good. The short answer is the internet, right? Yes. So we're talking about long enough ago where we're talking about message boards. And I know that, Mike and I and another of Mike's colleagues, we had just talked for a while, just about doing some different things. And I don't know, like I think with any good collaboration, you don't always know like who did what after the fact. So I know with me, I'm a little bit fuzzy on that, but I know Mike, put some into it and I put some into it. I think Mike had kind of the basic concept. I came in with, some of my own ideas and integrated those in there. But this is something that, we've had some collaborations before. And again, I think just within comics, any good collaboration has a lot of misfires and years of backstory, and certainly something like Hero Hiro does. I mean, it's gone through some different iterations and some different names and just some different ideas. I know the first name, it was probably going to get us sued. And so I'm glad we changed it, I guess.
What were some of the other names you guys were rolling around?
Well, I mean, yeah, just the original name had the word Avenger in it, and
okay.
I think also Ultimate. So there were
it was a double.
You can put those in any sequence that you want, but in any regard, and those are pretty general kind of adjectives, but still, especially when it comes to comics and giant corporate ownership, I think that it made sense to make some changes, and I think the story kind of changed too. So it wasn't just a matter of let's put a new name on it. I know the characters went through some different iterations as well, but the basic concepts have always been the same. We wanted to have, I'm sure we can get into the story, and Mike, you can speak more to it, but we wanted to have basically like a hero who does heroing stuff for all the wrong reasons, like not a bad guy, not the worst hero out there, but someone who is a hero and does these good things for the wrong reasons. So very egotistical, and very self-centered, and just thinking about like how do you break down your characters and build them back up? Well, that's kind of what this story is. So those foundational elements stay the same, but some of those surface level things like the name, the costumes, the colors, those went through different stages for sure.
Yeah. So I don't even remember when we first came out. It was early 2000s when I pitched the idea to Jeff, and I only gave him like the main two characters and the general idea of like, yeah, this is kind of what I'm thinking happens with, this one concept. And then Jeff builds this whole world around it. You know, supporting characters, characters like Super Supreme, Alligator, who you'll meet in issue 2. Just some really cool, fun characters that round out this world. And originally we were trying to hire an artist. And I think we went through 2 or 3.
Were you busy, or did you just not want to do it? Or
I wasn't an artist. I was only a colorist.
Oh, you hadn't figured it out yet? Because if Mike's been on the show a couple times, folks, you should go back and watch those episodes. Because like he taught himself like how to do everything. He as I, not with on the art side of comics, but as I continue to do in my journey into comics, it's just kind of like you kind of stumble into shit. And if you want to stay here, you figure it out. Right? Kind of like.
Yeah. So I'd pay people like to do the book. They would get like 2 or 3 pages in and kind of ghost us. And I was like, man, I don't know. I can't keep paying for this. So I shelved it. And then I walked away from comics for several years, just to focus on raising my girls and, you know, dedicating extra time to working other jobs and, you know, just paying for life. And then once the kids were grown, that was kind of the deal with me and my wife was like, hey, you know, once the kids are grown, you know, you can do whatever you want with comics. I'll fully support you. So that's what I did in 2002 or 2022. Yeah. I dusted off Kung Fu Lagoon and was like, totally redrew it, submitted it, and got in. And now it's just about telling those stories that I've been building up all these years. That's been like racking my brain. So contacted Jeff about Hero Hiro, and you know he was game to dust off the old scripts, polish them up, and revisit. So that's where we are now.
I think it's also awesome. Part of comics where it's just like I've got this idea, but you never quite forget about it. You never let it go completely. And you know, you've heard lots of stories, at least from my experience, when I would read comics, and then they would be like, "Oh, we've had this idea for a number of years." I'm like, "You're lying! Like there's no way that you've been hanging on to this for that long and not done anything with it." But it happens, and you know, it happens for a lot of different reasons. You know, sometimes life gets in the way, but sometimes it's money, and just sometimes the opportunity is not there. So, you know, and I think the message that you had sent me, and it's also kind of funny because this is comics too. Is like you don't always stay in contact with people that you work with, but I feel like if the relationship is good and you know you for whatever reason that you part, you do so on good terms, it's always just like you can pick that back up very quickly, and that's always a fun thing too. It's like, well, hey, how have you been in the last 5 years? Like, have you done anything? Have you like gotten to any like major accidents, or are you basically the same? And you know, so that's just kind of an interesting thing about life, but certainly life in comics. For
does
sure.
Just a general life tidbit though. Like as I get older, because I'm notorious, Jeff, like if we were friends, right, which we probably will be by the end of the show, just warning you. Like I'm the guy like you won't see for a while, and I'll show up. I'll be like, oh, how's the wife? Oh, we got divorced like a month ago. And I'll be like,
I've had that conversation with some folks. Like, I'm not divorced, but some folks that that I've known of like, oh, you know, how is this person? They're like, oh yeah, we don't speak anymore. It's like, yeah, like, okay.
So it's like the older we get, yeah, and then we get real older, right? And so sometimes it's like we don't speak anymore because people are dead, you know. Sometimes they got divorced and then they died, you know. And it depends. It's weird. It gets weird now that I'm almost 40. I'm 40 next month, guys. It's freaking me out.
Let's talk more about death.
Yeah. Speaking of freaking me out, Ian, what's up? Thanks for tuning in. Ian's got a dope Kickstarter live right now. If you go to tombcomic.com, he's got a cool apocalyptic, culty, religious. I don't know. I read the first issue way back, and it's real cool. So yeah, check that out. Cool guy. Also, your guys' buddy Rob, who's too cool to come on my show. Rob, oh, he'll leave a comment, but he won't come on the show. Rob, no. What's up, Rob? Rob is the co-creator of the Ringo nominated Zor, which we'll talk about tonight as well. Thanks for tuning in, Rob. You're good people. I was just giving you shit. But yeah. No, it's hard to stay in touch. You get busy. And like time does different things as we get older, right? You're like, oh, I'll do that in like a day or two, and then it's 3 months go by, and you're like, what happened? That I don't know. That's how my life is. I am like struggling with like deadlines, and I have another Kickstarter page I have to build by Friday, technically.
Yeah.
Why did I say that? Now I'm going to think about that for the rest of the show. But it's always something, right? And so you're like, I'll do this after that. I'll do this after that. But then 4 more that's happened. And it's like, shit. And so, yeah. And then that's just trying to keep in touch with people, right? But you're trying to keep in touch with the creative team and keep a storytelling train going and a narrative train going, and then a monthly deadline. It gets really intense. But yeah, I'm glad it happened, because you guys have a cool book, and it's very, very fun. And even though it's like it's very all ages, right? But it also like it sings that special tune. Like, I don't want to goose you guys up too much, right? But like I'm thinking, but it's got that. And I haven't seen Superman, but it's got that tone of like what people talk about the new Superman, right? I haven't seen it yet because I'm poor, but
aren't you wearing the shirt?
I'm definitely wearing the shirt. I want to see it. I really want to see it. I'll probably watch it this weekend. I think I can probably spend the $20 on it, but like, but I've been trying to kind of wait for it to stream because I'm a cheap bastard. But anyway, but it's the way people are talking about it, right? It's that like that kind of golden age, that warmness, right? It makes your guts feel warm, puts like that goodness inside you, and it's got that kind of superhero in it. And so real quick, because I always do this because we've been talking about the book without talking about the book, right? Give me Michael, hit me with your con table pitch. If I like walk by your table, I see this hero superhero grab it. I'm like, what's this? Like, how are you selling me this book?
So what I usually say is something to the effect of, it's about an egotistical superhero that loses his powers to his biggest fan, a little boy named Hero. And it's about both of them on a journey, finding out from 2 different points of perspective what it is to be a true hero. So they're both working towards that throughout the story arc. So
you're going to make me cry, aren't you? Like,
pitch somewhere around there.
I feel like something's, because it's funny, and he's such a prick. He really is. And I love that this is coming out like around like Peacemaker time, because it also reminds me, it's not crass or anything like Peacemaker, right? But he has these redeeming qualities. They're there, right? And he's powerful, and he can fight, and he can do cool shit. But he does not know how to read a room, nor does he want to. Right. There is no room to him to read. He's the room. And just like, so there's like this kind of comical obliviousness, but also just, he's a jerk, but he's how hard is that to create a character that like simultaneously like pushes and pulls the audience?
So if I don't mean to interrupt anyone. So I think what kind of made it work for me was that we added money, like kind of capitalism into the concept. So the idea with our main superhero is that just like a public utility, he's funded almost in the same way of like buying a stock in this character. So instead of buying stocks in your favorite company or something that you think is going to do well and give you dividends, people are buying stocks in superheroes, not literally, but their money is going to support, the people that they think are going to keep them the most safe, or just look the coolest, or have the neatest kind of hitch, I guess, something to pull you in. So his main focus is, I have to maintain this. So he's like on top of the mountain when the book starts. He's getting all the money. He lives in a posh apartment. He has all the equipment. The latest tech is his, and he's terrified of losing that. So he has to think like, not just what can I do to help people, but how can I do it in the most visible way? So where do I go that's going to get me the most clicks and views and eyeballs and likes and subscribes and all those things, as opposed to just doing what's right for the sake of doing what's right. And he has people around him, notably a butler, which is a kind of an age-old concept, I guess, kind of, very Alfred-like. Someone who, does his day-to-day stuff, who's kind of like his Jiminy Cricket, who's his conscience, but he doesn't want to listen to any of that. So when we talk about our hero being, having these redeeming qualities, we really don't see any of that, at least at first. And that's kind of like the hero's journey that he's on, where, he's made it to this point. We don't necessarily see how he got there, but he's enjoying the fruits of his labor. And because he's so insecure, I don't know that we get too much into the insecurity aspect, but because he's so insecure, he loses sight of why he came there in the first place and why he's doing this. So it's just a matter of maintaining that status. And I feel like, that's something that's kind of relatable. Even if, we don't look at that and say, hey, this is something you should aspire to do or to be. I think getting to that point and being afraid of losing status, that's part of being human. And especially when you have things, when you have privilege, when you have money, when you have, whatever it is, you don't want to give that up, even if it means other people are going to benefit from it. And even if it means you have, excess. So, not to make this seem like a whole, my whole like political discourse or something like that. It's just all about like when you have everything, what you will do to keep it. So, he has this perspective, and, all of a sudden, through various means, which you should buy the book and find out, his powers are transferred to this child who has this sense of innocence. He's a fan. Kids are, I think, inherently like trusting, and, he thinks like this guy's his hero, and he has the same name. It's spelled differently, but he has the same name. And from our superheroes standpoint, and it's hard we can't see the text, so when I say hero, who knows who I'm talking about? But from his perspective, he has to think about that kind of public image that he has, and he hates this kid, and he wants nothing to do with him because he's in the way. He's someone that just kind of stands in the way of him, getting on TV, and from him, going and having these events where he can show off and get money and do all these things. So rather than just being someone who wants to help out for the sake of doing it, he has this very specific goal in mind. So then he has to think about, well, how do I deal with this kid? And it's obvious that I can't just like dismiss him, and I can't just like throw him into the sun. I have to, I have to at least make it seem like I'm mentoring him, and I'm a good, authority figure, and I want people to look up to me in that way. So he's just trying to figure out, how can I use this to my advantage, and still just kind of live the way I want to live, and not actually have to take on this responsibility of it. I think what the catchphrase of the book is something about, with great power, there must also come great responsibility. I just made that up on the spot.
Really good.
Mike, yeah, we'll talk about that later and see if
that's got a resonating tone.
Yeah. I think I could catch on.
Mike, what is it about heroes and their chins? Like,
so yeah, I mean, that has been like a part of the design since the beginning. But yeah, when you see the stereotypical like Superman type character, they always have huge chins. And I don't know, I didn't want to shy away from that. So I like leaned into it, and that's just kind of been, bigger upper body, huge chin.
Where do you think that started, Mike? Do you think that's like a Dudley Do-Right type thing? I'm trying to, because I know that like having a strong chin is not, is an age-old thing.
That's why I have a giant beard, because I don't have a strong chin.
But like the over-exaggerated chin, like where do you think that started? I guess.
Yeah, because I think
that's why I said Dudley Do-Right, because
I don't know where it comes from, and I've seen like Superman and Captain Marvel, Shazam, however you want to say. Like I've seen them drawn that way when they're more cartoony.
Yeah.
Of course, Crimson Chin comes to mind from his Fairly Odd Parents, right?
You're right. Yeah.
But yeah, there's anytime you see that kind of character, they always have a giant chin. So I don't know.
But it's also like that pose, right? Like when you
Yeah.
when you pose, like their whole the chin leads the whole body, right? It's like it's this weird focal point of the face. And again, like it's weird how it goes into like real life insecure. Like I mentioned my beard, like it's, you know, it's just something that like I look, and I'm used to having a beard, but it's just like it's almost like you want to hide it, you know. And it's just like, and there's that phrase, we'll have a weak chin, you know. And it's just of all the things that could bother you, right? You know, it's just like so yeah, it always has fascinated me, like here, like the strong jaw, the masculine chiseled jaw, and then of course with caricatures, like we blow those up and make even the securities look like insecurities in a sense. But yeah, I love how you animate him, and he does have like the big bold chin and the big muscles and the colors and the design. You guys mentioned that the design wasn't necessarily one of the easier processes of this was, and I would imagine it's pretty hard designing a superhero and then designing like the costume and the colors, and then we know from the cover that eventually the costumes are going to match, right, and stuff. So what was that process like? Why was it so grueling? Which one of you was the hardest to work with at that point, and are there still sour feelings?
It wasn't either of us, really. So our publisher had a lot of say in what he wanted to see as far as the color scheme. And he's, you know, however you feel about that, he's usually right. So I really trust him and his art direction and helping with that. I sent him, I don't know, 20 different color schemes. And, you know, a lot of them were kind of what you would expect, like white, gold, red, blue, yellow, blue, purple, you know, kind of the standard color schemes. But he really wanted something that was a little more different for a hero. So he was like, he's egotistical, right? I'm like, yeah. He goes, so let's give him some crazy bold colors. So I did the purple, yellow, green. And he was like, that's it. That's the one. And I was like, okay, good. Thanks. I'm glad we're done.
So you guys were working with Keen Spot from like the get-go, like from early days?
Yeah. So I no. Just for the relaunch. So after Zor, or during Zor, I sent Chris, who's the publisher at Keen Spot, an email with the synopsis. And I was like, you know, this is the kind of story. He loved it. He loves the story. So I sent him the, you know, cover, and he was like, well, let's change the name. Because originally it was Ultimate Hero, and Gary was the.
Oh, I kind of like that though.
Yeah, that was the one that we were gonna go with, and before that was Ultimate Avenger and Gary. And he was like, well, you know, Gary's kind of an older name, you know, it's not as catchy. Yeah, so I don't know. So I came up with Hero Hiro. And that just kind of fit, you know, and the logo played well. So
did you make the logo?
Yeah.
You did?
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah. So the graphic design side is like probably my strongest, you know, skill set, because that's what I do day to day.
Yeah, that's your day job, right?
Yeah. So graphic design is
kind of mine too now. How fucked is that?
Yeah, you fallen into it.
Like, we were talking about stumbling into comic jobs. Holy shit, man! Like,
you're always going to be a graphic designer now.
I know that's what someone do. Which I don't hate it, but I'm at the, like, I'm legit, like, I have to start paying for Adobe products, and I have to learn how to use Adobe products. About to get back on Skillshare to try and take some classes, you know, but like, I'm excited to do that. Unfortunately, everything costs money, but like in this case, it's like kind of like buying this microphone and stuff back in the day, right? It's like investing in my, like, that's going to make me money too, upgrading software and being able to learn to do more stuff. So,
well, if you have questions with Photoshop or whatever, let me know. I've been using Photoshop before it had layers.
Oh shit, that's crazy.
Since it first came out, I've been using
Back when you used to just be able to buy it and you didn't have to pay for subscription fees, and that freaked me out when I found out about that a couple years ago. I was like, and then I guess I know this isn't about your guys' comic, sorry, but like I guess there's someone else that like another alternate thing, because I would love to get a new iPad, is to get an iPad and pay $15 for Procreate.
Yep.
But okay, so now you're looking at like half grand plus tax, and if you get the pen, that's another couple $100. But like things add up, and being able to like work on the go would be kind of cool. But
so for comics, I have a weird workflow. So I thumbnail, pencil, ink, and Procreate. I flat, and if I'm lettering, I letter in Clip Studio, and then I mostly will color in Photoshop. And that's only because I'm very fast in Photoshop. Clip Studio, you can do the same stuff, but when I'm like pasting in textures and stuff like that, I don't like how Clip Studio does it. So that's really the only reason that I still stay in Photoshop, is only because how you can paste inside instead of having to paste, then make a selection, then go to, whatever it is, layer, and then mask, or however it goes. And I always choose the wrong one. There's like an in and an out, and I always choose the wrong one. And it just derails me a bit. So typically I like to focus more coloring, like the rendering side in Photoshop. But for flatting, Clip Studio is awesome.
Nice. I've heard a lot of people talk about Clip Studio. Jeff, I know like we don't like, I do a little bit of writing and editing and stuff too. We don't have as many options. What do you use? Or, well, I guess there are a few options if you use like script generating, or not like AI generating, but like script type word processors, right? What do you use to do your scripts?
Well, if I was 10 years younger, I'd probably use like a Google Docs or something like that, but I'm Microsoft Word.
Okay.
Which again, so I teach in my my secret identity job, and a couple years ago, I realized that no one uses that anymore. Like that's not a thing. People don't do that. I mean, young people don't do that. So yeah, I mean, I'm familiar with the Adobe products as well. I mean, I letter HERO HIRO. And we were talking about earlier about just basic like surviving in comics, and that was just kind of my survival story. Like, you know what, this is something I'm going to teach myself how to do that too, just to kind of figure out. I've done some like flat colors as well, and I think that if you work in comics, especially like independent comics, you kind of got to figure some of that stuff out. So I mean, Mike certainly has the lion's share of the work with a book like this, but I help out when I can, I guess. So you know, I'm a font guy now, I guess. That's that's what I do. But you know, when it comes to you know, there's like script writing programs like Celtics and things like that, but that's more for if you were trying to format something for TV. You know, trying to do something like that with comics. I think one of the great things about comics, and also one of the really frustrating things, is that it's kind of like the Wild West, where there's no like one way to do it.
Yeah.
And in like TV and movies, and not to say I've had a lot of experience in that, but you know, there is a pretty standard format and a couple standard programs that you use. And with comics, it's just like, good luck, kid, figure it out.
Yeah.
And you know, if you want it hard enough, I guess, then you do.
Hey, I wrote my first comic script. I got my first comic gig was a 2-pager in an anthology, which is hard. Like a 2-page script is not so. I don't think you should give a 2-page script to like someone who hasn't written a comic before. Like
I bet there was a lot of words in these 2 pages.
Yeah, and
it's
you're like, I finally figured out like, oh yeah, we don't have time to like, let's establish a scene, and then you know, like, no, we're in it, like, you know, we're starting right where we need to start anyway. But I wrote my first script on a note, like a real notepad with a pen and my phone. Like I finished it on my phone and then cleaned it up. But I use Google Docs because it's free. I miss Word sometimes, like, because it has like a place in my heart. But you know, Word used to. I also remember like when you bought a new computer, like Word used to be there for you. you know, and you open up that new computer and turn it on. And it's like, hey, pal, you want to
10
write
minutes
something?
later,
Just
when it's
open me
on.
up. Now it's like you now it won't even open. If you open it, it's like pay me, bitch. And you're like, I don't really want to. And then it's like boom, I'm closed. Like if you're like
I'm out
Word
here.
is not fucking around.
Adobe's the same way too, man.
Yeah.
Adobe's
Really?
like, oh what? No, you didn't pay. All right, we'll see you later.
Yeah. We got a JD Rosario's in the chat. Check out Vicky Sticks, another cool campaign on Kickstarter. Art's rad. It's like a She Van Helsing kind of. Well, not really Van Helsing, more like because like Van Helsing was sort of I don't know. It looks cool. You should check it out. Vicky Sticks on Kickstarter. But yeah, that's blah 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 blah. Okay, so you guys are at Keen Spot and you've pitched this. You pitched this to him, and like, are you? You've been there a while, Mike. Like, do you have like connections there now? I mean, like, I mean, you have good books. I mean, so you know, I guess like they're in my opinion, kind of lucky, right? When you get a creator who's got a handful of different good kind of, but you know, you've been there 3 different series, different teams on them now. Staying at Keen, like, there's any. I know you're still. There's an animated thing you were talking about for a while, but like things going good there. I don't ever hear. They stay out of the drama at Keen Spot, which is good. I feel you know like there's no drama, no people mouthing off, no dirty blog articles, and no bleeding cool articles, the nefarious kind anyway, right? Like
I've been really lucky. Chris is very straightforward, and he doesn't promise you the moon and under deliver, that kind of thing. It is what it is. And, his goal is to get your book out there. And then, if it can go beyond that into like animation or movie, he'll try that too. So, he's very supportive. We're still moving forward with Kung Fu Legume. We have a couple irons in the fire, but, we're waiting to see what plays out with that. So I can't do any announcements or anything yet, but hopefully in the next year, maybe we can, put something out there with that.
Tom Cruise is playing the Bean.
Yeah, it's a lot of running.
I spoiled it, but
he ruined it. Great, thanks. I'm gonna get in trouble.
How nuts would that be though? Like just because that's how weird Hollywood shit happens like that sometimes. Like he stumbles across it on like a coffee table and he's like, "What's this? This is amazing." Who would not read that origin story and not? It's honest. I know like this should be up for Ringo, but like I love Kung Fu Legume and like it fucking blew me. I'd never heard of it, and like Mike hits me up on Instagram. Like this weekend at Planet Comic Con, and I go say hi to him. He's got this dope Ninja Turtle art, right? And he ended up giving me this Michelangelo piece, which wouldn't let me pay for it, but like, so he gives me these, and I came back like I was like, dude, this book is nuts, and like it has an origin story that I've talked about a couple times, but I really encourage like people, if you love Ninja Turtles, if you love like kind of silly Saturday morning cartoons, and we're getting a resurgence of all that right now, right? Like there's fucking Darkwing Duck comics, there's Street Shark comics, right? Yeah. It's good times to be a 90s nerd. Kung Fu Legume is like full of all that jazz, and it's so I love it, and it's got the absolutely craziest origin story. But you have a knack, and I know you work with teams on some of these, but like with Zor, with your Ringo nominated Zor, for a very long time, I thought that book was about an alien. And I'm like, I'm pretty sure I wasn't alone, because cover A, he looks like he's on like he's like a platform, a glowing platform that does not look like it's from Earth. Right. So for a very long time, like I was under the impression that it was a book about aliens, and it's not. It's about like a sewer slime monster that you love. It's so weird. Okay. No, all right. I know you pitched the book already, but it'd be weird to have Jeff pitch this one because he's not working on it, but that might be fun. But pitch us the Ringo nominated Zor real quick, and so we can get it's so charming.
So Before I go into that, I'll just say that Rob Pochak did a great job taking that core idea and building a world around that. And he's done some other really crazy out there kind of stuff, like Died Hard, which is like a rabbit that's like an assassin kind of dude. And then he has what's the other one? I'm blanking.
No one knows. That's why it's so popular. Because it's
everything. He's done a couple cool covers for some Kickstarter books too.
Yeah, Rob's kind of into anything, everything. He has a ton of books that he's done. But
I made some. I met Rob at Comic-Con this year in San Diego, and I made some observations on professional wrestling, which I'm not. I know there's a lot of crossover with comics and wrestling fans and things like that. For whatever reason, I never got into it, and that was the moment I think Rob disagrees with everything I'm saying here. I just had some very outside, very general information.
He's real big into the wrestling scene too. So,
yeah.
But the other book was Red Mutt. That one just came out last month.
Okay.
July. No, it came out in July. So if you haven't seen that, pick it up. It's really cool.
He did a cover for Zor too, didn't he?
Yeah,
did he do the hand, the cool hand coming up?
He does a cover usually for every book that he's involved in.
Nice.
So he's an artist as well. But as far as the pitch, I would say it's about a little girl that loses her mom to cancer, and her dad gives the little girl her mom's ring, and she loses it down the sink, and she cries and wishes she could get it back, and her tears form into this little guy named Zor. So it's about his journey through the undersink of retrieving this ring. So it's a really beautiful story, and Rob did an amazing job writing it and just building out that world and creating some really fantastic supporting characters.
Oh my God. You guys have to, if you win a Ringo or two, will you make some dust bunnies, some real plush dust bunnies, and sell them?
So
they're so cute. They're so weird looking.
Yeah, they're very cute. Some dust bunny slippers would be awesome.
Oh no, that'd be crazy.
Yeah,
that'd be okay. Yeah, that'd be okay. That would be better than a plushie. Yeah, it is. It gets you in the feels. And by the way, Keen Spot, if you go to their shop, you can download issue 1 of Zor for free. Just add it to your cart and check out, and you can. And I believe they're doing that for the Ringos so that people can check it out. I really encourage you to do it because it's packed with feels, absolutely beautiful. Once you get under the sink, it is a whole new world. And I wish I could say it better than that, but it's what you guys do down there. I did not expect. It's so crazy that the world building, the characters you meet, and it's very, very beautiful. I remember when we talked the last time you were in Kansas City, I asked you, because it looked like your art, right? But it looked a little different. And I couldn't really pin it down. And not in a negative way, but but I asked you, I was like, did you do something different, like coloring it? And you said you did. You said you got kind of weird with it. And now you're nominated for getting weird with it. So what's that feel like? You tried something and it paid. It paid. How does that feel as an artist? That's gonna feel pretty damn good now that I think about it.
Yeah, it's really cool to get that nod because I wasn't expecting it. We were really pushing for Zor to get nominated, but I didn't think that I would get nominated for any of the art or coloring or anything. So it's a huge honor, and like I said, we're up against some giants. So
yeah, no pressure here. I got the list pulled up. We got a best color. You're the first on the list, which is cool. Michael Adams,
yeah,
Jordy Belair, Lee Luridge, Sabine Rich, Dave Stewart. So I love you. Okay. You are the best and you're so talented, but you are just sitting with the best in the industry.
Yeah.
But I honestly, like, that's gotta feel like it's like scary and cool simultaneously, or is it all cool? Is it all cool? And you're just like, I'm just glad to be here and like
it's just to get nominated is huge. For my name to be among theirs is a huge honor. So, I've already won. And, if I happen to win, that would be mind blowing. But, I'm not under any delusion that that's probably going to happen. I'm like, yeah, I'm going to go and I'm going to have a good time and I'm going to meet people and hang out.
I hear it's a great like one of the best shows
is like up against like Dark Horse and Scholastic and what do you do? So that's
you go and you win. You go and you fucking win, dude.
Indie giants out there.
What are you gonna wear, Mike?
Indie people to come.
Yeah. What are you gonna wear? You got something cool picked out?
I don't know. I have a nice dress. Have the legs that can pull it off.
All I've heard is that the con itself is fun. Like the Ringo Award show is super fun. It's like a great place to connect and meet people. Jeff, I saw you were on the list too, so you're going to be at Baltimore, right? As well.
Am I really on the list? Because that is news to me. It's coming up, isn't it? I'll have to check that out. I was there last year, so I don't know.
It may have been last. It may have been last year's.
Maybe you were looking at that list. I don't have plans to, but you never know. I'm not too far away, so I might just show up and demand entrance.
Yeah.
I was here last year. You could show them the list I found.
What
did you think?
For +1s if you want to show up, Jeff.
Yeah, I'm sure you could.
I don't do tickets. All right.
Have you been?
This is my ticket.
Yeah.
Hey, it's a good ticket. It's a great ticket. Mike, have you been to Baltimore before? Would this be your first time?
Not to the con, no.
Nice.
I've been
to a nice show for sure.
Not to the con.
Yeah, did you like it, Jeff?
And it's pretty much just comics. That's the nice thing about it. And it's not one of those shows where like, hey, we're just comics because we can't get anyone else. It's it focuses on comics, and there are a lot of people there too. So it's kind of the best of both worlds. I don't feel like I understand why shows will go out and get the celebrity guests, and I don't begrudge them that certainly, but it is nice to see when shows at least give like a token level of appreciation to the comics in Comic-Con. But it's a good show. I think that's my point. I think that's what I was saying.
I've heard supposedly I think Prana is going to try and go out. I'm not going out there, but I think my boss is going to go. We're talking about doing some cool stuff. But yeah, it's I'm really hoping next year I can start going to. I'm hoping next year, like people just need me, because that almost happened this year. I was getting taken out to SDCC like I was a pretty French girl, right? Like it was happening, and then it didn't. But I'm hoping like
most people at SDCC are French, so
is that okay? That makes sense. But yeah, I'm hoping next year they're kind of like for my job, it's like, hey, we need you out here. We need it. And I have gear out the ass. I have wireless mics. I have 4K cameras.
That is where the gear comes from.
Yeah, you gotta. It's the best storage, and it keeps it from rattling around. You got to keep it tight though. Wow. Okay. That's sorry. What's up, Omnibud? Thanks for tuning in. Follow this is a cool channel. They do cool stuff. So follow them on the social. Yeah, don't. It won't it won't be doing interviews anymot. Like
I really
could you imagine doing an interview and like someone hands you like just not even necessarily like a shit smelling, but like a rot, like something's wrong with this microphone. You're like in the middle of the interview and they're like, because this had to have happened before, right? Something got spilled on it, or it was like a hot, sweaty day in someone's back pocket. I'm telling you.
The phone covers that go over mics.
Yeah.
Like how often do those get washed?
Never.
People are all day long, you know.
Yeah.
So
This I bought this was like $10. I don't even know how you wash them. You just throw like I don't even know what to do to it.
I don't think you do.
Yeah, it's kind of like
enjoy the smell.
Yeah.
You just go and you cut another piece off of Grimace, and you
you just go get another piece of Grimace.
What part of Grimace is that? By the way?
We don't talk about that. They didn't tell me. That wasn't in the Amazon description. What's up, Chris? Thanks for tuning in, bud. What's up, Eric Palicki? He was on. That's true. I made a crass joke right before you said that, so that stands. Eric's got a cool Kickstarter right now for the compact edition of Atlantis Wasn't Built for Tourists. I think I'm starting to figure out that you Kickstarter people just watch my show for free advertisements for your book. Because when you come in, I shout you fuckers out.
Yeah,
I see your games now, and I'll take them because I need the metrics. Mike does too. He advertises on the show. So,
yeah. You gotta do what you gotta do.
What okay, I going back to this. You said something earlier, and it made me laugh, but I wanted to bring it back. When you guys mentioned going door to door, you know, you're ready to like go door to door selling comics. But you know, right now, I was just talking to a friend about how useless social media is right now. I mean, like it's fun and it's a distraction and it's great to get in fights, but like promotional purposes, it's absolutely terrible right now. Facebook, you can't even post your links and let's check out your Kickstarters anymore. Like, cause Facebook is freezing links. So they don't populate thumbnails or anything. You can't click on them. And then we tried to do like a post a QR code, and a lot of people don't know how to make their own QR codes, which I found out. So they would still post the links. But yeah, and it's harder and harder to get your stuff out there, right? We've talked about it on my show. We've talked about it at work all the time. Like, you know, the power of the mailing list, power of the blog, you know, it's all kind of all this like old social media stuff is coming back, finding its importance again. Long story short, how many times am I going to say that tonight? But what are you guys doing to combat the algorithm to get this new book out there? You know,
I pay the beast. I mean, that's the only way I can get anything seen is I have to boost. I have to pay, you know. Honestly, I get the most bang for my buck through TikTok. Yeah, I pay a little bit and it gets like tons of views and tons of likes. And, you know, I don't know if it's going anywhere beyond just people going, yeah, that's awesome, you know, 3 seconds in and then moving on, because everybody's like got the attention less of a goldfish now, you know.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, if I post something, you know, maybe 1% of everyone who follows me will see it.
Yeah.
And, you know, they're just waiting behind the tree going, give me the money. Come on, man. You want me to boost that for you?
I know. It's terrible. I was talking about it.
Do it.
I made that post on Facebook where I was like, I wish people could figure out what is and isn't AI. And then right after that, I posted a hot dog meme that was AI. And my boss, Adam, like very kindly left a comment that was like, hey, it's AI, bud. I was like,
oh, the irony.
I know. I was like, God damn it. It ruined hot dogs too. But yeah. So anyways, like I'm not perfect, but going back to that, how many of us have seen those stupid Bigfoot videos, right? That are like, you know, like, oh yeah, I got a selfie stick. Blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
How many of us didn't see anybody's Kickstarter campaign for a month?
Right.
Like that is crazy to me that we're like the amount of AI being like forced down, you know, our throats. I'd be a liar if I said I didn't use AI tools. You all saw when I was posting daily shorts, I was using Riverside's AI editor. You know, that was you know, so I see it has uses, and I'm not, I don't want to get into that, you know, conversation, but it's crazy, right? That like we're seeing fake AI stuff, fake AI food, fake AI cheeseburgers, right? Fake AI women, I'm getting like fake OnlyFans AI models. And then I saw, you want to talk about TikTok, sir? I saw a TikTok short talking about how you pay for this AI service, design it to make a hot girl for you, use this other AI thing to program it to like do sexy shit, and you put AI videos on OnlyFans because old dudes are too stupid. And these dudes are making, this is short. I didn't research it. Okay. It may be all bullshit, but
yeah, so that's
these dudes are making AI porn content.
Yeah, there's AI Instagram models out there. I mean, yeah, there's articles on all that. I mean, it's getting to a point where, especially the older generation, God, probably my generation, doesn't really notice the difference. Yeah, thankfully,
do you think they're stupid? You think like that? I mean, that's what confuses me, because everyone's like, oh, like, send us to grandpa and he doesn't know any better. Is he an idiot? It's like, what? Just because the uncanny valley is real.
Yeah.
And I feel like even if I came, woke up from a coma from 5 years ago, what a world to wake up into. But and I saw a video like that, I'd be like, I don't know what's going on here.
Yeah.
But I don't like this. We should burn this with fire. Like that would be my my reaction to it. So when people say like, oh, the old people get fooled by it, are old people fooled by everything then? Is that just how that happens? What's wrong with old people?
They get confused.
Don't check on them. Call your parents. Tell them you love them.
Trusting, Jeff. That's their problem.
No.
Hearts of gold, those old humans. They don't know any better.
By the way, Omnibud's about to launch a Kickstarter for a self-cleaning microphone. Just that's you're gonna make a killing from sweaty loud podcasters all over America. And then I know Facebook. Though, like groups even got to be a little too much, because I was in a lot of comic groups for work, like, and then trying to like hype Kickstarters through them, and then I didn't want to spam, right? So like I was always very careful and cognizant of like how I posted in those groups. But then like the group started having like, not only it was the group, there was like the private chat of the group. And then I was in like all these other DMs that I didn't want to be in. And it just got to be really, I just don't want to talk to people.
And the thing with groups is like, originally the benefit with groups was if you posted, everyone in the group would see it. And I don't that's the case now, because
I think that's what he's saying. Yeah.
Yeah. I don't see like some of those things that are posted.
In
groups that I'm a part of. So I'm like, did they change that? Because maybe that's not how it works anymore.
Yeah, I don't know. I can't. Like, I can't get Bluesky to work. I can't get anything to work.
Have you heard of
Threads.
Dead internet theory?
What is that?
Have you heard of dead internet theory? So it's the idea, and I'm a proponent of it. Where like as things progress, it's more and more just like automated, like bots, basically talking to other bots.
Oh yeah.
A lot of the engagement on there is just automated, and it's just for show. So it's just the idea that, oh, look at all this engagement that's happening, but how much of it is actually real?
But we're really all just screaming into the void.
Yeah, and like how many people that you're interacting and fighting with and all that stuff is genuine interactions, and a lot of it apparently is not. Which is kind of strange and disheartening, and just overall just kind of odd. So I know for myself, I've pulled back on a lot of social media, just because what are the things that I got from it when I signed up in the first place a long time ago? I got to meet people who had similar interests to me, and that was really the goal of it. I met a lot of people who I went on to work with in comics, and just became friends with casually, or maybe even more than that. But now when you don't have, they've really taken the personal interaction out of it. So, what does that mean? And I feel like it probably means we're moving on to a new model. What that model is, I don't know, but I don't think, like, how could you imagine being in high school and being like, hey, I'm going to sign up for Facebook? Absolutely not. Like, no, in no way would I be caught dead doing something like that. And if I did, like, what would I do there? So, I've kind of clung to it just because, my mom's on there and things like that. So, we get to post Christmas pictures and things like that. But yeah, I think this is whether or not like the tech bros will admit it or not. I really think that we're going to see a change. Whether it's, and it probably is only going to be a good thing. It's just because things have fallen into disrepair. So it's a strange environment out there, and especially because a lot of those places were built up to be some place where you could promote some of the things that you were doing and tell people about your things. So and this just kind of a circular where it takes us back to this initial question of, I got a Kickstarter out there. How am I going to get people to know about it? And I think what it comes down to is cultivating these relationships with a very small group of people. And it's that dedication that really keeps bringing them back, as opposed to reaching a huge audience. And there still are projects out there that get funded for $1 million and have 10,000 supporters. But I think that's more the exception than the rule these days.
Oh, definitely, yeah.
So social media as a concept, I think is I don't know if death spiral is the right is the right term for it, but seeing it, what kind of influence that it's had, and over these last 5 or so years, let it burn. I've got enough friends. I don't need any more.
I'm kind of with you. I've met wonderful people online, and my life changed because of the internet. Honestly, like Blake's Buzz happened, and now I got work in comics. Comics tried to fire me, and then I got rehired in comics. And so I owe a lot to social media. I owe a lot to like old school Twitter, really, is what I owe a lot to. Like Twitter is what hurt. Twitter felt like home, and it felt like a rich bully took it away from me.
It was like a betrayal.
Yeah. But I'm with you. And the only thing that sucks is every time it fucks with my head and I'm like, man, I would like to get away from social media. Like I find myself in a position where I'm not allowed to. Like right now, like if I don't get on, I'm pretty sure, I'm a couple months into my Blake's Buzz relaunch, and we've been pushing Wednesday night live real hard. People know Wednesday night, unless something bad happened. That happened one time, I've been pushing that. So like, I think I'm getting to where a lot of people will know to tune in, whether I post about it online or not. But I do think posting about it online and like announcing the guests and like, I put that on Facebook and make a Facebook event, and I think it helps a little. I hope so. I hope I'm not wasting my time, but
this is getting too existential for me, guys.
Right. Well, what's fucked up is I recently had a woman like slide into my DMs, right? And she was like local from Kansas City. Like we were talking for like a couple weeks, and I knew
there were hot singles in your area.
There were hot singles in my area, but no, she was real. I'm pretty sure she was real. But like she was. It got to the point where I knew, I was like, I know she's gonna ask me like, or be like, are you gonna ask me out, or be like, let's go get coffee or something, right? And so she finally did. She was like, she said something. She was like, but you're not gonna ask me out. And I was like honest, and I was like, like I just got fired a few months ago, and I'm finally like getting to like pay my bills again. And I was like, I don't want to be somebody's loser boyfriend, and all my friends, everybody was like, you should have shut the fuck up and went and got coffee. Right. That's what everybody told me. But no, I tried to be honest. Right. And be like, dude, my life's kind of fucked up right now. Anyway, but right when I told her that, she was like, oh yeah, you should figure that shit out. Rejection, take, and I was like, yes. Okay, well, ask for it. I asked for it. But anyway, I was like, God damn it, like someone hurt my feelings on the internet, and that's so stupid. And then you feel stupid for letting that happen. You feel stupid for getting your hopes up. This is why I quit e-dating forever ago, because that was even worse. But anyway, but now I was like, I want to get off the internet. I was like, I want to get off the internet. And my boss is like, hey, let's cut some shorts and let's get back on TikTok and let's get on Instagram. And it's just like, I have to be fucking everywhere, and then so I don't get the option to like leave the internet. But whatever. Oh shit! The Chiefs fans get 17. Hey, that's true. It's like statistically proven. I know. We're hitting hard tonight. I was like real and vulnerable, and now you guys are coming at me about the Chiefs.
Okay, so Chiefs fans get 17% fewer dates, but statistically, it is possible that you could be dating Taylor Swift.
Right?
So
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm not a Chiefs fan, but I feel like there's the upside and downside to it.
That's true. No, our city though, they've done
studies,
and it's the worst for like singles. There really aren't singles in my area, like in Kansas City at all. It's like it's supposedly like a terrible place to date. I don't know. I feel like wherever I go is a terrible place to date because I'm honest with people, and I'm like, you probably don't want to get coffee with me because I'm financially irresponsible, and even though I can't pay my bills, I bought a pizza stone and a peel. And but I bought it so that I wouldn't buy pizza, right? I bought it to make pizza anyway.
Oh, you're married to the internet anyway.
Yeah, I can't leave. I can't. Yeah,
that's your baby.
Yeah, I'm stuck. I've gotten smarter though. I don't pick fights anymore. I mute stuff if it starts annoying me, instead of just like, I've been trying not like to get less angry. I don't drink anymore, which has been a while, but I kind of miss I kind of miss that. Like, I don't miss it, but just getting lit and oh, Blake lost his shit online last night. And like my boss is like talking, like having those, like, you're the face of the company meetings the next day when I'm like hungover as fuck, just like, okay, yeah, real sorry. Like, I remember one time my old boss was like, it's like yelled at me in a meeting and he was like, you deleted a Facebook post last night. What was it? And I was like, I don't know. I was like, I drank a bottle of Maker's Mark and smoked a pack and a half of cigarettes last night, bud. I don't remember shit. I don't remember going to bed. Yeah. Anyway, I don't do that.
You signed
anymore.
An NDA. You don't have to.
Now I do. Well, no, I didn't then. So, but I did. Now I do. So my new bosses all made me sign NDAs. Probably why.
Didn't that go away? Didn't they like pass something that made that go away?
I don't know.
I think I read that somewhere, but I could be lying.
I know what you're referring to. Yeah, but who knows? There are no rules anymore, Mike. I don't know.
Yeah.
I just don't want people. I'm not a narc. I don't want people thinking I'm a narc. You can say a lot of shit about Blake Morgan, but he wasn't a narc.
Yeah.
All right. So all right, back to comic business. We've strayed far from home, but we can get back there.
I do have something I got to put out before I forget because I just remembered. Zor Saves Christmas.
Yes, you were talking about that earlier.
Yes. And that will be available in November. So for stores and anybody that has access to Diamond UK, Lunar, or Universal, go on there and order that. Diamond
UK. I've been hearing.
You can
hearing a lot about Diamond UK these last couple weeks.
Yeah, I just heard that today when Rob told me. So,
I don't really know what it means. I just
are they under separate ownership?
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
Yeah, I don't know either.
That was one of the places you get the book through. So I was like, cool. So yeah,
I know.
You go,
they have a logo.
And get it.
They have a new logo. So that's whatever that means. Hey, I'm Muggsy. That's awesome, dude. I am. I hit a year in May. So yeah. Thanks, dude. I really appreciate it, man. Thanks for tuning in. I appreciate all you people that tune in live. Well, we love you. We'd love you more if you tune in live and then like turn around and bought the books. Just throwing that out there. And maybe subscribe. I'm like this close to 600 subs too. So like help me out. All right. So you're going to Baltimore. Jeff was there last year.
If you get a time machine, come meet me.
And he won't. He will not take a day pass. Like he's full guest rollout or nothing at all for Jeff. Like, and you deserve that. Like, no day passes, no keychains, no lanyards. Just like,
the door to Jeff.
What was it like? What's the environment? Because you mentioned how it's like. And I've heard this before, like it's a comic show for comics people, for comics fans, for comics pros, right? What is what's the vibe like at a, because I feel like most Comic Cons have like it's an insane vibe, right? But like even when you're standing in line with people, like everybody's in a pretty good mood. Hopefully they're not stinky. Sometimes people are stinky, and that's but I feel like most people are pretty excited and happy and so like is it a different vibe in Baltimore? Is it like serene? Is it dreamlike? Like what is this? What is the magic of Baltimore?
The magic of Baltimore. This is the only time that phrase has ever been used. Uh, well, so I mean, I was there last year as a guest, which is just a real nice compliment, I guess. I had been there years prior just as a fan, and one of the things that surprised me was just kind of the access you have to maybe some of the creators. Comics is a very small industry. Comic book famous is still not that famous in the scope of the real world, but still there are different levels. And I feel like at Baltimore, because it has that maybe different approach to it, and it's not big. I mean, at least when you compare it to something like New York or San Diego or some of those really big shows, where just logistically speaking, you don't have the opportunity to go say hello to maybe someone whose work you admire. You sometimes, it depends on the person and their willingness and just their availability and things like that. But sometimes you get that opportunity that you don't at other places. So this was years ago, and she's since passed away. But I got to meet Ramona Fradon a few times, which is just kind of for me, I was a little bit starstruck just because I love her work and some of the things that she was able to kind of accomplish. She's the co-creator of Metamorpho. For one, and Aqualad, but she's someone whose work that I probably didn't really appreciate very much or even recognize that much until I got a little bit older. And she was working into her 90s. I think she was 95 or 96 when she passed away. So that was a great just interaction there. Get a chance to kind of speak with her. She did one little trivia for you. She mostly drew for DC Comics. She had one book for Marvel in her entire career, and it was an issue of the Fantastic Four. So I took that and had her sign it. I didn't force her to. She agreed to sign it. But so, that type of story, I think, doesn't really happen at a lot of other conventions. And, it's just kind of this confluence of things. So it's small enough where you have the space to interact. But for whatever reason, maybe part of it is the Ringo Awards and some of the history with the convention and just how they treat the folks that they invite. But that was always something that stood out to me about that particular show, among other reasons. But it's a nice time, and it's not too far away from where I am, so I can make it there, and I don't have to pay for a plane ticket too. So
Nice.
if you're, in the area, you should definitely give it a shot because it celebrates comics. And like I said, I don't begrudge the other shows for bringing in celebrities or entertainment properties or anything like that. But they definitely do have a focus on comics, and it works there too. At least that's been my experience. And, had a great time last year too, from just kind of the other side of the table.
That's awesome.
Jeff is like, the one thing I have learned from Jeff is he has this unique ability to meet people, and he's like always like running into someone or like, oh, I saw this dude or I found this dude. So Jeff, is there like, what's the weirdest like random encounter you've had?
A number of years ago, a long time ago, just ran into Rue McClanahan. On the streets of Pittsburgh. She was filming something there, and she took a picture. I was there with a group. I was in AmeriCorps for a year, and we were doing some of our training in the city. And then just like Blanche from the Golden Girls is there, and it was like this. Is that Blanche from the Golden Girls? And it was. And I think she was in a play or something. That's probably my weirdest celebrity encounter. I think, and certainly I've heard that before from others, and I think it's just I recognize faces very well. So oftentimes if you're somewhere where there are people who, might be recognizable for whatever reason, it's not like I have a nose for it or something like that. I'm just like, Was that person? That's that person from a random episode of Kids in the Hall from 1992. Like, yeah, I'll say hello to that. And apparently I have no filter as well, so like I'm willing to just go say hello. Not hopefully not in an intrusive way. Not that I'm like, you owe this to me or anything like that. But
like when you screamed at that old lady to sign your comic book.
She was in Golden Girls. Why did you do that to her? But yeah, so that's just a trick apparently that somehow has kind of followed me around.
And Blake Jeff's been in he's like an extra in a lot of stuff. He's been on SNL. You're like Walking Dead too, right?
Oh shit!
I got to be a zombie in an episode. It's one of the spinoffs because they filmed the television show in Georgia. But I think it's Dead City, The Walking Dead. One of the things I've always wanted to do is to do that. So I think this was a few years ago, but got to put the whole gear on and shamble around for an evening and sweat. So that was a fun experience for sure.
What do you teach, Jeff?
Life. Hard Knocks. That's the school I go to. So I'm mostly English. Nice. It just depends whatever they want me to teach, basically. But yeah, I teach a lot of composition. Teach some literature courses.
That was going to be my life for a while. I was going to be an English. Well, I thought I was going to be an English teacher, then a professor, and then I didn't want to do that anymore.
It's an honest living.
I dropped out of grad school. Is what happened.
At the end of every semester, you get to slap one of the students across the face. That's just part of your contract. You get to pick too, so there's nothing beats it. It's just a great visceral experience.
I wonder if things would be better if teachers still beat the kids. Probably not. We shouldn't go there. I never got hit. I went to a Catholic school. Like when I was young, so that was all. Like my dad told stories about getting hit with a ruler and stuff, but I never, nothing. Like no one ever hit me in school.
I got the paddle with the holes drilled in it.
Really?
Yeah.
Is that so? There's like less air resistance or something like that?
I don't know.
Like what's the whole? Is it just intimidation? Is that
the thing? Sound it makes?
Okay.
The whistling as it flies through the air.
I just feel like if they drill holes in it, there's less of it there.
Yeah.
I always thought it was like, it cut through the air faster, right? Like less resistance on the paddle.
So there's not that cushion of air that really just saves you. It's before then it was just like, oh, I don't feel anything.
Yeah.
They're like, we're gonna drill a hole in it.
Yeah.
No, not a hole.
First you used to get the belt, right? And then parents figured out the belt wasn't shit, and then they flipped it around. I never got the buckle either, but I heard stories. I heard buckle stories. But anyway. Can't do that anymore. I think if you beat your kid,
let's share more stories about abuse.
Yeah.
Yes.
My dad also made me work as a child. He like forced me into child labor.
Child labor.
So he was the maintenance man at my grade school. And it was a private school, and he worked there they cut the tuition for my sister and I, and my in the summer, like they would give him these astronomical workloads to like get the school done and ready. And so he would hire like my friends and I, and we're like in 5th grade. And like he would buy us like Surge. Surge was big then. So we would have like an endless supply of Surge, and he would have us like paint chairs for teachers and mop floors and take out the trash. He would have us like we worked all fucking summer, and he would take us out to eat every day. And like, so I don't know how much money he saved and like time saved and wages earned and like Surge and tacos, like taking us out to eat and stuff. But yeah, I was at my school like almost every day in the summer, like working, and it wasn't air conditioned. It was hot. My dad used to get he used to drink back then. He would get so mad. Like,
that's just good business if you think about it.
Yeah. Get your kid. And then for a while he would pay me like $5 a day, and he would like hold on to it. And then like on the 4th of July, I would just buy hundreds of dollars in fireworks. And he was like, well, you spent all your money.
You watch all your money just go.
Yeah. That was fun. So yeah. So yeah. Anyway, Jeff wanted to talk abuse. I figured I'd share my trauma. I didn't. I got lucky. I was pretty lucky as a kid. I always got birthday presents. I obviously never went hungry. I've been a large person my whole life. So, but my dad did force me into child labor. Like, there's no way around it. You tell that story, and you're like, parents don't do that. Like,
I think it was just the times, man. I was roofing houses.
Because, dude, none of those teachers, the principal bought like me and my best friends like Jimmy Miller and Dennis Cummings, because they were up there with me like every day working too. Like the principal bought us all like Worlds of Fun, the amusement park, like bought us all amusement park tickets and like gave us like $50 to spend in the arc. So like even the school was like, we should probably give these kids something. Like, but yeah, they didn't care. They weren't like, are your parents okay with this? They were just like, oh yeah, vacuum this room for us, bud. Like, so yeah, maybe it's a Catholic thing. Here's you fucking pay that tithe and offer your children to whatever the church wants. Anyway, oops. That also never happened either. Like we talked about that when we got older,
I'm really
right?
glad
Like
to hear that. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, and then because in high school, because I went to private high school too, right? So they would make us, you would have to meet with the priests every now and then, just as like they made you go to mass every week, right? Every now and then you'd have to have these like counseling talks with the priest. And I remember when like you'd go into this room and they'd leave the door open, and they'd like have this like talk and be like, hey, we're leaving the door open so that like if you don't feel safe. And it was like, holy shit, and so I went through all that like when everything was going down. But yeah, none of the priests ever that we were around. I was talking to a buddy about that the other day. We're like, shit, man, like, because you heard all these stories. Anyways, it's not what we were. There's comics, and not the Catholic Church is what we're here to talk about.
Stumble into a memory and be like, oh no, we don't want that to happen.
That's the power of comics. They take you places. Sometimes
they'll transport you.
Sometimes the places are weird. Sometimes you go back to OLOP, which was Our Lady of Peace. We called it OLOP. That was the school where my dad made us all work in the summer. we would find him stoned in the boiler room. We didn't know we didn't know he was getting high then. Like I think it was I remember like being in dare class and finding my dad's pipe and having my heart broken. But like looking back on it, we would like the teachers would be like, "Where's your dad? We need him for something. We have to go find him." And like there was like these old boiler rooms with these like metal doors with like these giant like commercial boilers in them, and like you had to like lift up this hatch like a fucking ship, and you like open this big steel door. And we would like lift it up and open it, and we'd find my dad like sleeping in a chair with a cigarette, like all ash, just like, and we'd walk in and he'd be like, "I'm working." We'd be like,
you start talking about boiler rooms, I start thinking about like 80s horror flicks, like immediately.
That's what they were like.
I going down there.
Yeah. No, dude, schools at night are scary. That was I don't miss that. Like closing up and like because everything's just dark and quiet. And those like your footsteps like echo through the halls. Yeah.
Yeah. No. That's dumb. You don't go down there.
Which is funny because I don't know. Would you ever go to like a haunted house? Like sit like go walk through one?
I did when I was young because I was dumb. But
what are you saying? Like it's gonna throw your back out or something? Like
I mean it might.
I guess you might jump.
As I used to be. I was really quick when I was young, and now not so much. The walker gets in the way. That's why comics are nice because you sit down. Yeah, it's wisdom. I mean, you go, probably shouldn't mess with that.
Well, I don't have any wisdom, as most of you can tell who've watched my show for the last few years. We're lacking. We got lots of excitement, but we're lacking on wisdom. But we're never lacking on good guests and good things to read. And after all that clusterfuck we just went through, that's right. I'm going to tie it all back into the comic books that we were actually here to talk about. And I really do want to remind everybody and encourage everyone, if you are a comic book pro, if you've ever written anything, edited anything, or I believe production, if you do production stuff, design, lettering, or I know definitely lettering, but like logo work and design, editing. If you've done anything, You can sign up to vote for the Ringos. Whether you vote for Zor and Michael, that's up to you. I think you should, because I think both are well deserved and talented, and it's a great book that can get a wonderful, like an all ages group of people into comics, right? And also young women, which I think is we need to bring more young women into comics and make it a better place. That's a different story for another time. I highly encourage you to check it out. And I also really encourage you to check out Hero Hero from both of these guys. And you should tell your shops that you want it, because you can get it. You can just tell your shop to get you this amazing indie comic, and it'll get there every week. It's amazing how pre-orders work. But I feel like these guys would appreciate that. Maybe.
You want to spell out that title, Mike?
It's HERO HIRO.
Right.
Is there if you look it up, is there a slash or is it just Hero Hero?
Nope, just Hero space Hero.
And is issue 2 out yet?
No, it comes out November.
Oh, okay.
But it's available for pre-order for shops right now.
Nice. Yeah, I definitely do that. Issue 1 was a blast, and I feel like I don't know, like it's funny, but I feel like they're gonna get me in the feels, and it's in an intense way, right? It's like when we find out how to be a hero.
Spoiler,
again.
there's no payoff.
Nice.
So disappointing. Like it just
you are the
we don't even
of Hard
like
Knocks.
the third issue. It just goes up to like page 16 and then stops.
Like,
they all die in the end.
Yeah, you thought this was gonna be happy? Have you looked outside?
Really embarrassing ways too, like really humiliating.
Random meteor, everybody gone.
It's like the dinosaurs.
Yeah.
That's
Nothing mattered
life,
anyway.
though. Yeah.
Yeah, worked for God. He wrote that book. Anyway, he didn't even write it. He cheated. Right. Okay, so pre-order the book. Tell your shops. You can still get issue 1. You can also go to the Keen Spot shop and buy it if your shop can't get it. But I don't think it's sold out, so it should still be able to be ordered. And maybe it will sell out if you all go order it. And then, yeah, like I said, check out Zor. You go to also while you're at the Keen Spot shop, you can download Zor issue 1 for free, and then you can see all the crazy risks Michael took coloring things. So like it like glows. It fucking glows. It's trippy. It's like on a page, like whether you read it on like. Because he gave me a copy a while back. I got a cool foil edition of it, and the pages do kind of glow, but all like on the tablet, it really glows, right? But I don't know. The colors are so good. You so deserve a spot on that list. I think it's so cool. I'm so happy for you, and I'm happy. I was real happy this book was good. Like, because Mike talked it up, Jeff, for years. He just talked it up, and I was like, man, this thing. It better be
good.
Yeah, I was like, it better. It was really good. It was good. It was funny, and it was, like I said, I imagine it's very challenging to make characters that like make you want to close the book and keep going simultaneously. Because it is, you're like, why do I give a shit about this guy? But you do. And for reasons unknown that like propel you there. Anyway, I'm excited to see where it goes. As everybody knows, I'll keep rambling until someone tells me to shut up. I've kept you guys for about an hour and a half. I'm getting better. I'm trying to keep these to an hour. I can't do, we talked about getting old and haunted house traveling and shit. We're getting old. I can't do these fucking 3-hour live streams anymore, man. I'm dead the next day. I feel like I partied. I feel I sweat. Like getting excited about comics makes me wet. That's a clip. Anyway,
I think we just end it there, and
Usually you pay double for that.
Blake wet for comics.
Blake's wet for comics. Buzz, splosh, splosh. All right. Jeff, where do we? I know you love social media so much. You got a mailing list, or where do we sign up to take your classes at? To tell us where to find you.
I mean, if you just shout my name loud enough, I show up. A year and a half ago or so, I bought the domain jeffmcclelland.com. And that's mostly up to date. But I'm on Bluesky just with my name, just at Jeff McClelland. I'm on Instagram, Jeffrey McClelland, because Jeff McClelland was taken. I dropped Twitter just because I'm not a Nazi. So, so that's That's where you won't find me anymore. I nuked that thing. But I'm around. Just check me out. Like I said, if you say my name 3 times, then I'll show up in a mirror or something like that. So I'll be there.
Oh yeah,
I'm available.
Follow Jeff everywhere but Twitter or X, whatever it's called, Elon's Playhouse. Anyway, remember when he was going to save the planet? We're not going to talk about that. Mike, while I got you, I was scrolling through your social, just stealing art for the thumbnail, but I was dude, your Substack posts and stuff are so good. Like the graphics and stuff. Like, I don't know, when you like scroll through your socials, like the stuff you're doing, it really pops what you're doing. And we've been talking about this at work, right? About marketing and how marketing's about telling a story, right? But it's also about giving back and these kind of giving these lessons for free and talking, kind of helping people through stuff and kind of using that as a means to, propel your own brand. These are things we've been talking about. And I think you're doing a really good job of that. And why don't you tell everybody where to find all these great things you're doing?
So you can find me on most social platforms at Gecko Adams and my website, geckoadams.com. So if I'm on the platform, it's going to be Gecko Adams.
Hell yeah. And follow him because he's doing cool posts. He's good comics people. Both these guys, good comics people to know. Oh, Jeff, I don't really know you. I'm assuming you seem like good people. You don't. The not a Nazi thing really sold me. These days, that's once I feel like after that's out of the room, we're in a good standing. You never know. You may hop off this call and get in the back of a U-Haul truck. I don't know where you came from.
It's none of your business.
That's true. That's very true. Guys, this was really fun. Jeff, it was great to meet you. I love the book you're doing with Mike. I hope you guys, I hope the reception for Hero Hiro keeps doing well. And I hope you guys keep working together because I feel a good vibe in these pages, kind of like in this conversation. I feel like you guys should keep telling stories together. Same with you, Mike, you and Rob. Like you guys have a good vibe and banter on the page too. I feel like you've surrounded yourself with good people. So keep doing that. And Jeff, your meeting people powers apparently work pretty well. You found me. Before I let you guys go and play the music, anything else you guys want to shout out or say to anybody or anything like that?
Hi, Mom. I've got a book called Planet Comics that I work on that has Kickstarter has ended. It was successful, but there's still late orders being taken if you want to check that out. So Planet Comics is the name of it. It's a science fiction anthology. We've got a Tick story in this newest issue. So hoping to get that out probably in November of this year. So you can look for that. Just type my name into the internet and see what shows up.
Oh yeah.
That's what I do.
I like sci-fi.
Mike doesn't have that opportunity.
All right. Well, awesome. Hell yeah. Anytime, I like good anthologies on Kickstarter that deliver what they're supposed to deliver and help create, anthologies are great in this medium and more people, they're hard to do. More people should do them. But I know that's a lot asking for people because they're expensive. They're a lot of hard work. There's a whole other episode we're about to dive into when I'm trying to leave. So we're not going to do that. But I want to say thank you everybody for tuning in. Thank you for the comments. Again, check out these books. I really encourage you to dive into anything Michael does. I'm so glad I met him in Kansas City and I've got to see the comics he's done over the last couple of years. Jeff, I'm gonna be keeping an eye on you too, dude. You're cool. You're good people and you're a great writer. You get superheroes, which when you get superheroes that way, I feel like you can tell all sorts of stories. It's like being funny, right? Funny is hard to write, but when you can write that and when you can deliver those punchlines, you can deliver any kind of scene. So excited to see what you do coming up in the future on Kickstarter, direct market, wherever it may find you. Shut up, Blake. All right. Love more, hate less, read books. We'll be back next week. I think with I might have a cool guest next week. I gotta get that email back, but we're excited. We'll be here talking about something. Both of you, thank you so much for spending some time with me. Everybody, follow these guys and good night.